Yo, 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 yo. Hey, how you doing? It's Wednesday. Welcome to the second episode of season 2 of the Lions Club. You already know. If it ain't a vibe, we ain't going live. As you can see, it's just me. I know what the flyers say, but my guest is running a little late, and that's totally fine. We still gonna tap into this though, for sure. Y'all see the title, man. Life has been life. Bruh, but life really has been life, man. Like, you know how on social media everybody posts the good times and the bad times. Not hardly ever the bad times, but trust me, we all going through something. 100%. And I'm not going to get personal about it, but all I can recommend to anybody that's going through something in life, always keep the faith. Always keep the faith, no matter what. Always have that glimpse of hope that you always it's gonna be better. And just remember that it's always worse than somebody else. Let me get my yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo, come on in, big dog. Come on in. My guest has just arrived. Hey man, what's going on, big dog? I'm good. You can sit right across from me. Oh yeah, it's downstairs. Downstairs, first door on your right. My guest just walked over. Yeah, we gonna get into that in a second though. But as y'all can see, a couple of events happened earlier this week. We had a eclipse for the first time. They say this the first time in so many, blase years that eclipse that happened. Even though we didn't have one 7 years ago. And y'all, if you know me, you know how I feel about that number seven. Certain numbers just stick out to me, like three as well. It also sticks out to me. And I actually took a picture at work. I'm gonna put it on the screen real quick. I took a picture. Shout out to my little brother as well for bringing me these glasses so I could see the eclipse. But I thought this picture was pretty hard. As you can see, this little dot right here is the eclipse, and this is the hospital that I work at that I shall not say on air because I see too many people already up there that I know in real life. But yeah, man, it was just funny while like the eclipse was going on. Mind you, people is working like we working. I park cars or whatnot, and people was like, they going to watch the eclipse? Can I get my car? I'm like, lady, this is a like I get it, you ready to go, but at the same time, this is a once in a lifetime, even though one happened a couple years ago, once in a lifetime event right here. Let me enjoy the eclipse and then I'm gonna bring your whip up. And hopefully you still, is generous enough to tip your brother. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just thought this picture was a little dope or whatnot. WrestleMania 40 also was this past weekend, and like for me personally, wrestling no, hold on. I gotta promote myself before we get into that. Shout out to My City by Music. I got the some merch on today for my boy Justin. This is one of his newest designs right here. Y'all need to come shop. Also got my own merch, the Lions Club, as you can see. Uh, One for 25, two for 40. Um, but yeah, man, come through. Keep buying the merch or whatnot. I appreciate y'all. My guest just sat down and arrived. Uh, Say something. Let me see. You turned him on. He should be on now. But hold on. Let me get right. Let me get right. Uh, how you pronounce your name? Octave. Octave. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my guest real quick. Keeping it raw and straight to the point, Akhtab Muhammad is a comedian that keeps it real on and off the stage. Chicago native, raised in St. Louis, his punchlines reflect the hard times of his upbringing. With jokes riddled with relatable experiences, he makes it easy to laugh at his pain, but that's only to keep from crying at our shared truth. The thing is, the thing he loves the most about comedy is that it gives him the opportunity to be himself. Inspired by funny folks like Bernie Mac, Mike Epps, and J. Anthony Brown, it's no wonder why his style of delivery is just blunt and bold. With great visions of his future and 6 years in the game, he's already featured in 15 shows, 6 of which he's hosted, and he's had the honor to open up for the hilarious TK Kirkland in Atlanta. In 2024, we could look forward to him opening for bigger names while growing his own, all the same. He has plans to leave a legacy for his friends and family to be proud of. Akhtab Muhammad. I'm good, man. It's good to see you, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I appreciate this opportunity, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Did you get a chance to see the eclipse? I know.
I did not. I was scared, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You were scared.
I was scared, man. I saw it getting kind of dark outside, and the street lights was confused. That was enough for me. I wasn't staring straight up in no sun, and I ain't had the glasses either.
Yeah.
So that was enough for me. So I saw what I could see.
Don't me.
That's what I did see.
It just caught you off guard.
It caught me off guard.
On me.
You know.
A lot of people say either they was on it or they just wasn't worried about it. It
Yeah.
got dark and they was like, what the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, when I seen it getting dark, I knew it was happening, and that was, I was good with that.
On me. I respect that for sure. So what has been how did you get into comedy?
Man, I come from a DJ background, man.
I wanted to get into that too, so we can start there. Yeah. So you a DJ as well too.
I started DJing in '98.
That's the year I was born. That's crazy.
Started DJing in 1998, man, and been in that game 20 plus years, and I started seeing a change in the music, and I was like, man, I can't keep up.
Take this off.
With the NBA young boys and all these new rappers coming out, and it just got to a certain point for me where I started just accepting certain gigs. And I was like, man, if I can't really keep up with the times, I'm gonna have to find something else to do.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I've always considered myself a comedian, but I've always been that guy, like the family functions or whatever, to be the one to have everybody laughing, So I believe I was at a comedy show, an open mic or something. I was attending one night at Helium, and I saw somebody else performing, and I said, I think this is something I can do. So I just tried it at an open mic one time, and I'll never forget. His name is Chris Sear. Shouts to Chris Sear. He gave me my first piece of advice. The first time I ever performed, it was at Helium's open mic. And he said, dude, going into comedy, you're gonna realize, man, it's a constant grind. That's how the white man.
Yeah, for sure.
He told me that was my first piece of advice, man. And it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
It just stuck with me. I was like, he was right. It is. It's a constant grind. So started doing comedy in 2019, man, and I've been going ever since.
Oh, so almost 5 years. Well,
Yeah.
5 years.
6 years.
Oh,
6 plus years.
You said it in the bio, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, once I started tapping into comedy, you was probably like one of the first people I seen, and just I just like your comedic style or whatnot.
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause the joke that stick out to me always that's in the front of my mind is the joke you went over at Woman House.
Man, and I always like to tell the backstory.
Oh yeah, come on.
How that really happened, man. A friend of mine, but he's a childhood friend. We was in middle school and high school together. His name was Jimmy. He hooked me up with that girl.
Oh.
She lived in the Peabody Projects. He said, man, look, I got this little demo,
Yeah.
He said, I'm getting ready to leave. I can't do nothing with it. He said, you can talk to her.
Right.
I was like, all right, cool.
So he threw you the alley.
He threw me the alley hoop.
Okay, for sure.
I get to her house. Can we curse on her?
I keep it light, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it clean then.
All right.
I get to her house. The house is dark, but she got stuff everywhere. The house was nasty, but she half naked.
Right.
So I said, okay, ain't no way in hell this somebody I'm gonna take home to mama.
Right. Oh, yeah,
Yeah. But she look like she ready. I'm gonna go through with it.
Right.
So we did the do, and she just got to saying what she said, and I was just got to looking around. I was like, just in any part of the house, I just pick something.
Right.
I was like, hell, the bathroom. She's like, say something nasty. I was like, your bathroom. So that was a true story, man, and it was a crazy story. It's something I never forget, and I want to take it to the stage.
So you real life told her that. How did she take that?
Ain't nothing she really could say.
On me.
I don't even think I stuck around to see what she said.
On me.
You know, because I didn't see her no more after that.
Right.
So.
On me. Oh, so it was free game.
It was free game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I hope she grabbed the broom or something after I left. You know? Might have helped her.
Hey, for real, though.
Yeah.
So you say that you had a tough upbringing, or?
I ain't gonna say I was raised in a single parent household.
Single parent household.
Born in Chicago in '82, Cook County Hospital, South Side.
Damn.
We moved to St. Louis, I would say it was like '84. You know, probably a little off, but I'm gonna say around '84. Moved here. We were on Section 8.
Right.
You know, and I'll never forget that story, man, because I grew up in Jennings. And my mother was on Section 8, and I'll never forget being in the house that we moved in. It was a Caucasian guy that gave us the house,
right,
or whatever. And he said, I'll never forget, he told my mother this exact thing. He said, ma'am, I've never seen colored kids that act so mannerable.
Wow.
He said, I'm going to make sure that you get this house. Now, little did he know, she beat our ass before we came in the house, which made us act the way we act,
right,
but led to getting us the house, man. But yeah, it was a different upbringing, man, because, you know, like most kids, like me, I was raised by a single mother.
Right.
You know, so I kind of talk about that on stage, you know, my upbringing with disciplining, because my mother, she didn't play when it came to that that belt.
Right.
She didn't play. So I was like, this is the kind of stuff I want to take to the stage. You know, this is when I want to talk about my real life. And that's kind of how I bring it when I get up there.
Right. Do you think you growing up with a single, have you noticed any like personal issues growing up with just a single parent? Because I also grew up with just my mama as well. So
yeah, and I always say this, man. I always pay homage to my mother, and I always say that she did a darn good job because she raised all boys.
Shout out to my
four of us. Yeah, four boys. She did it all on her own, man. So I always pay homage to mom. And the crazy thing is, man, today is my biological father's birthday.
Wow.
Today is his birthday.
That's crazy.
You know, so he called me. He was like, "Well, you call me, tell me happy birthday." I said, "If you can remember my birthday, I will tell you happy birthday." He hung up.
Hey,
here we are with that, man. Shout to my pops,
hey,
though, man. I still love him.
Okay, so I want to talk about the name change.
Yeah,
sure,
yeah. Let's get into it.
From Anthony Miller to Akhtab Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same initials, I noticed as well. So
right.
What inspired that? How did that come about?
My mother again, man. My mother, she had never seen me perform. She had never seen me do comedy. I would say this was like the start of my career. I was performing at, you remember the Laugh Lounge? It used to be in Clock Tower on West Florissant.
No, that ain't.
You remember the Laugh Lounge?
I just started getting out here like 2 years ago.
Well, shouts to Jesse Taylor, man. His whole team. They had this comedy club back in the day called the Laugh Lounge. Mm-hmm. Really nice spot, man. I really missed that spot. But my mother, she had came to see me perform there for the first time. My mother had never seen me do stand-up.
Right.
But I guess she had an idea. But because before I went on stage that night, she was like, look, I want you to act like I'm not even here. I want you to go up there and be yourself and don't even forget I'm even sitting here.
Right.
It did something to me, but in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, she want me to go up here and be myself. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try and be respectful at the same time. So I did go up there. I was myself. I cursed, but I don't remember cursing that much. Okay?
Yeah.
So I come off stage probably that next day. She called me. She said, oh, yeah, son, you got it. She said, you got it. She said, but I think if you're going to continue doing it the way you're doing it, you need to consider changing at least your stage name, because she said you have people in the audience that think very highly of your name. It's an Islamic, it's a Muslim name that I have. She said, if you're going to consider doing it the way you've been doing it, I think you should consider at least changing your stage name. So I like to always start things with a prayer, man. So I went home that night and I prayed about it. Woke up that next morning and I was like, well, I wouldn't mind keeping my initials. And I was like, who do I kind of look up to right now that's doing their thing? I was kind of watching basketball at the time. I'm somewhat a Lakers fan. Anthony Davis. Okay? That's where the first name came from. Miller, Master P. I like the things that I saw Master P was doing in the community, you know, or whatever. I said Miller. That'll be my last name. I still get to keep my initials, Anthony Miller. So.
So it went from Akhtab.
Akhtab.
I'm sorry. Akhtab Muhammad to Anthony Miller, not vice versa.
Right.
Oh.
Akhtab Muhammad, that's my government name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my actual name. I was born with that name.
Okay.
You know, so that was always.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so that was always my stage name. So I was like, I'm gonna just run with this Anthony Miller, and I started using it, and I was like, man, this ain't me.
Oh, dang.
You know, this ain't me. This ain't who I was born to be. You know, if I want to be myself when I get up there, I gotta be me.
Right.
So I was like, I need to go back to who I am, and that's Akhtab. So here I am.
Respect, for sure. Somebody in the comments said, tell him you only 25. I know the Laugh Lounge and Jesse.
You only 25?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man.
I go to comedy shows with my mama.
Mm-hmm.
We disturb the comedians all the time. You know, I try to, if it's somebody I really want to see, of course, I'm going to try to sit in the front.
Okay.
They be like, how long y'all been together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my mama.
Oh, okay.
Mess up the whole crowd every time.
I remember you did, because you talk about that on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember that.
For sure, man. My mama like my best friend, for real.
That's good, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good.
So I wanted to also ask, so I know you said you started with DJing, and how was that? Like, how was that experience before it you said you couldn't keep up with the music? Because I understand now.
Yeah.
Today's music, and this coming from a young cat, it lacks no soul. It's no soul in it. You know, it's quick, a lot of melodies. You know.
Yeah, yeah. My kids get on me all the time, man. Because I don't know. I mean, you say you're 25, but you might not remember. Like, I'm a '90s head. So my kids get in the car. I'm listening to DJ Quick. You know,
I know a couple songs by.
You know a couple songs by Quick.
Skating songs.
Okay, yeah. I'm listening to Quick. I'm listening to the old school '90s R&B. That's what I'm pretty much bumping when I get in my truck.
I'm cool with that.
You know, my kids can't get with that. They want to hear the Sexy Reds and the NBA Young Boys. I ain't with all that.
Right.
You know, when you go to lunch at school, you can listen to that.
Right.
Take your earbuds or whatever, you can listen to it then. But I ain't. That ain't me, man. So I had to make a choice. I was like, either I'm gonna start taking a teenager with me to do these teen parties and kid parties, or I'm gonna have to think of something else to do. So I still DJ, you know, but I'm very selective. Very selective of what I do.
Oh,
so.
Absolutely. I respect that. And you said you don't smoke.
I don't.
Do you drink at all?
I don't.
I respect that a lot.
I
And
don't.
have you ever in your life?
I'm 42 years of living, man. I don't. I always say I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I use a little profanity. Let me have that.
Yeah, you got a little something
A
down
little
there.
something. Let me have that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. They clowned me. He said he looked 42, don't he? Talking about me. He thought you was 35. Damn. It's the bird. Man, anyway, we gonna move on. They in there clowning, bro. So you said your first time getting on stage was in 2019. Do you remember your first paid show? Like when you got the first opportunity to get some little change for doing something that you love?
God, do I remember my first paid show? Man, you taking me back now.
Oh yeah, that's what we do.
Oh my gosh. I want to say yes and no. I'm gonna say yes and no. Shouts to this brother. I think it was. I want to say it was with the Comedy Club. If I remember correctly, it was either with the Comedy Club or it was with this guy named Jay Garrett. I don't know if you know Jay Garrett. He's a big
Probably
buff
if I
guy.
see his face, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a face guy.
I think him and his fiance put me on my first show, man, if I'm not mistaken. You know, we talking about 6+ years ago. So it's, you know, it was so much going on that time, man. But I was, like, the start of my career, I was getting, like, opportunities back to back to back to back to back. I was in the comedy clubs, were like, real heavy, you know. And, but my first paid show, I honestly don't remember. And then I want to say it was, you know, Mary Jane, right?
Yeah, I know of her, yes. I seen her face before.
God, it may have been Mary Jane, man. I've worked with so many people, man. It's hard to remember, but she gave me an opportunity first starting out. You know, shouts to her. Comedian Jay Garrett, he and his fiance, they gave me an opportunity first starting out. So if I don't remember you like in the beginning and you gave me an opportunity, I just want to say shouts to you, and I apologize for not remembering who you are, but I appreciate you. But yeah, it was so much going on in the beginning, man. It's hard for me to remember.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know the best joke that you've written that it got the best response from all the jokes you done did?
I would have to say the most recent one. Well, it's not really recent, but I talk about my dating life,
Yeah.
a lot. And I'll never forget, man. I had this experience where I was dating this girl. She had a son that was the same age as mine. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what made me talk to her. Okay, I was like, okay, my son finna have a playmate. He's in the video games. The young man is in the video games. They can get together, and do their thing.
Right.
I'm in the kitchen talking to this woman one day, and her son kept walking back and forth. But as he's walking back and forth, the little boy kept staring at me.
Right.
So I'm like, nah, what's on his mind? What is he looking at me like that for?
Yeah.
So he stopped about the fourth time he walked by. He gonna stop, point at me and say to his mama, he looked like Lil Terry that got that down baby stuff on his face. Now I'm like, Lil Terry? When he said Lil Terry, it made me think of the Lil Terry that was in the wheelchair on Facebook that was running away from the firecrackers. You remember that Lil Terry?
No.
You don't remember that Lil Terry?
Lil Terry running away from firecrackers?
Yeah, it's like, move, Terry, move.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only Terry I can think of, and I'm like, I can walk. So who is he talking about?
Oh, my goodness.
So she explained to me, she was like, she gonna play it cool. You know how sister. Lil Terry ain't nobody. He just my nephew, and he got Down syndrome. So he got Down syndrome. This little boy just stood here and said that I got Down syndrome.
Oh, man.
So that's my most recent joke that I can really think of that I'm really most proud of, man. The down baby. I call it the down baby because the little boy, he didn't know how to say it, so he said he got the down baby, mom.
Oh, man. All right, so we talked about the good, but I gotta know the bad too.
To what?
To like how you dealt with a heckler, or just like one time you was like, man, I could have killed it, but it just didn't go well. How did you bounce back from a situation like that?
I remember I had one heckler, man. I had a show at Helium. Comedy Club, and I remember that was my first heckler. This guy was in the audience, and he wanted, most hecklers, they want to go there, so, yeah, I gave it to him, man, but it was a small crowd, intimate, you know what I'm saying, but, yeah, I would say that was probably my only heckler experience. As far as bombing, I can remember maybe bombing a few times at open mics, and that's not a thing I don't feel bad about doing. I don't feel bad about bombing at open mics or just anywhere in particular because I learned from those experiences. It just lets me know what I need to work on for the next time. Right. So, yeah, that was my only probably heckler experience, man, was that when I did that show at Helium Comedy Club that time.
Do you remember what he said?
He called himself joning on me. And I don't like it when people just interrupt the show, period. So we kind of going back and forth for a second, but I'm like, I don't like taking away time from the other performers that are on the show.
Right.
So we probably went back and forth for a minute or two. Then I started bringing people to the show because I was the host. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, whatever, dude. But what was crazy is some of those same people that was in that audience, I ended up seeing them at another show I was doing. And they was like, oh, we remember you from the comedy club. You were really funny, but they didn't have that guy with them, this particular time. But yeah, that was probably my only heckler experience, man, that I can recall.
For sure. All right, this is a comedy question right here. I like to ask all my guests this question.
Yeah.
What's a question that you would like to answer that never gets asked to you?
What's a question that I would like to get? You said, what's a question I would like to get asked?
Yes, that never gets asked to you.
Man, what's next for me in the future?
What's next for you in the future?
Yeah.
Well, what's next for Mr. Muhammad in the future?
Greatness, man. Greatness. Yeah.
What's some of your goals? Well, let me ask you this, because it's coming back around. Registration for it. Are you doing the competition this year?
I'm thinking about it. I feel
like I got to.
Yeah, on my way over here, I was thinking about the last one I did because you and I, if I remember correctly, we were right behind each other, right?
Yep, I remember that. That was my first time in the comedy club on stage.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm new to this, man. I'm so serious.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm like, I don't. It's hard for me to consider myself a comedian because I'll be so focused on the Lions Club. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know I need to get my reps up and stuff like that. And it's been a minute. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's probably been since I did that Helium open mic back in it's been months, like last year, like October. You was there. Everybody was there that night, and everybody was talking about that crowd that night. That crowd was.
I'm trying to remember were we in the garage? Or?
Yes.
We were in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was back in October.
Okay. Okay. Don't feel bad, man. I haven't been on the stage in a minute myself. Yeah.
So like, bad. How do you like? What causes you to take a break, or like, is it just you just not feeling it, or it's just like?
You know what? For me, I told myself I was gonna take a step back and just work on new stuff.
Right.
You know, because when I come back to that stage, I want to come back strong, and I want to come back with something that people have never heard before. Some material that people have never heard before. You know, so that was the biggest thing for me, man. It's just stepping back and writing more. You know, then I'm also about to get married.
Oh,
so,
congratulations!
Yeah, I'm also about to get married in a few months. So, focusing on a wedding, man, that's a job. You know, and that's a job. And shouts to my fiance, my beautiful fiance out there. She's been on me, man, trying to show me stuff, and I think this is like the thing that women don't understand, man. It's like the fellas, we just gonna show up. You know, come time for the wedding, we gonna show up.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, but she been showing me these flowers and tablecloths, and I'm like, I don't know what none of that stuff is. Yeah. You know, we can put some grass from the backyard on the tables for the people. I don't care. Oh, God, you know, so shouts to my fiance though, man. She's been doing her thing with planning this whole wedding, and yeah, that's been the biggest thing for me, man. Is I just wanted to step back and just work on some new material, and just come back strong. You know, so.
Yeah. I'm just trying. Me personally, I'm just trying to find a balance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And I probably do need to write more,
right?
Instead of just going off the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have the idea, but you know, practice makes perfect for sure.
I've always said, man, with this comedy thing, it's so much you can make funny. It's so much. It's so many things that you can make funny. It's a lot. It's a few things that I try and stay away from when I get on that stage. It's like it's certain topics I won't touch. You won't ever hear me touch. You know, but I've always said that you can pretty much about make any and everything funny. You know.
They said congrats.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Married
Tell them I said thank you.
He said thank you. Somebody said, when is your next show?
When is my next show? It's up in the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
But tell them they can follow me on social media to keep up with everything I got going on. Just type in my name on all social media platforms and I come up. AKHTAB, last name Muhammad is with the AD at the end. And that's pretty much it, man. But very soon, I will say that.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, very soon.
So what you like being better, a host or the headliner?
I like to do it all, just for that experience. So if I'm on a show and they need me to host, you know, throw me in. You know, if they need me to feature, put me in where I'm needed, man. But I just like, until I get to that point to where I know, I have done a little bit of everything. Like I've hosted, I've featured, I've even headlined my own very show. You know, it was my own personal show, but I did headline it. You know, so I just like to be put in where I can, you know, wherever I can get in, man, for that experience. You know, whatever makes me stronger, whatever makes me better, that's what I like best.
So how is it conducting your own show? And
Work. Yeah. Work, man. So, and shouts to my fiance for that because she actually pushed me to start doing my own shows. I wasn't doing my own shows at first, you know, but she pushed me to do that. She was like, you going to these open mics, you ain't getting no money. We need some money. She was like, you got to start putting together your own shows.
Right.
You know, so I was like, you know what? She might be right. So it gave me that opportunity to not only put myself out there, but work with other comedians in the industry in the St. Louis market. You know, because my overall goal is to work with each and every comedian here in St. Louis. That's my ultimate goal.
Right, because you do skits online too.
I do skits online. I'm kind of off and on with that because I want to improve the quality of them.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody out there that's good with like editing and videography that ain't busting heads,
right?
You know, get at me because I'm shooting everything on the projector right now.
Oh, really?
No, it seemed like that because the videos don't come out the way I want them to, man. But
I said, oh, really? Like, damn, this man, he out here, he trying though.
I'm trying,
hey,
man.
Yeah,
I'm trying, but
respect the hustle.
Yeah, I want to improve the quality, man. But I'm still gonna be doing some stuff, you know. And I pretty much use my family, like everybody in my household. You may see my fiance and my kids, and most of the stuff I do now, because that's for right now. I live in a house full of females, man.
You the only male?
I'm the only male. I have a son, but it's mainly females.
Damn.
You know, so man, I had to go to the bathroom one time, and I couldn't close the door because there was a goddamn flat iron cord in the door. You know?
Well, first I got to ask, because I got a homeboy who's having his 4th daughter.
Yeah.
So he the only male. Are you okay?
I
just got to
pray for me. I'm going to say that. Pray. Put God first. Pray for me.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Put God first and just continue to pray for me, man. But it's a beautiful thing, man, living with all females, man, because you learn from them also, man. So,
Absolutely.
you know, they keep me on my toes, you know. And my son, when he does come around, you know, we do our thing, but they keep me on my toes, man. They keep me living, you know. So it's a beautiful thing living with all females. And shouts to the baby. The youngest is 5, and I call her boss, because she runs the household.
I believe it.
You know, so shouts to my baby girl Paris. You know, and yeah, man, it's different, but I love it. You know, I love it.
Absolutely. So what is it about Bernie Mac? Because, you know, in the comedy world, he's held to probably, you know, one of the highest standards.
Yeah.
So what is it about, like, Bernie Mac that stood out to you that he inspired you?
Bernie Mac, man, in my opinion, is comedy, man. He's like the epitome of what comedy should be. You know, in my opinion, you should be able to get up there and say what you want to say, how you want to say it, and just make people enjoy it. You know, so his raw style always stuck out to me, man. And, you know, just watching him constantly, I just always told myself that that's what I want to do. You know, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be him. I want to be myself when I get up there. But he's taught me a lot from a comedic standpoint. You know, and I watch a lot of Bernie. You know, I watch a lot of just about everybody. If you ask me, have I seen him? I have. But Bernie, man, he's at the top for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's at the top for me. So.
Yeah, I grew up with Cat
Williams.
Yeah, like that was the first special. Him in the green suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Money Mike era.
Man.
Yeah.
That is like, I can watch that today like it's my first time watching it, man. Like, that one sticks.
Yeah.
But Bernie, of course, the milk and cookies. Him talking about that's hilarious too. Like, him too is like gut wrenching funny. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know.
He talked about real life, man, and that's the kind of thing. That's the one thing that's really always stuck with me. Because that's pretty much my style. When I get on stages, I talk about the things that have happened in my life. If it's from my upbringing or my dating life, you know, or just things I may see in the real world. You know, that's the kind of thing I want to get up there and talk about, man. That to me is comedy.
Yes, sir.
You know, so that's the other thing I would say Bernie Mac has really taught me. You know, from getting on that stage.
So what advice would you give to any comedian that said, I want to hit the stage tomorrow? Like, what would you...
Do it. Do it. Don't just say it. Do it. You know, if you want to do it, get out there and do it. You know, network as much as you possibly can. One thing I'm learning is not to be afraid to go up and talk to people. You know, my uncle, he told me that. He was like, you got to get out here and talk to people. You know, shake hands, meet people. So just don't be afraid, man. You know, don't be afraid. If it's something you want to do, I always say start with 5 minutes. Make sure you got that 5 minutes worth of material and hit that open mic. You know, get out there and start running, start making moves. You know, make it happen for yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, okay. Let me see. What else I got in here for you? Oh, you got. I seen that you got some like community events coming up.
I do. Shouts to I don't know if she's on here tonight, Nicole Van Hook. I don't know if she's on here tonight, but she and her organization, they have a community day going on this Saturday, and I hope I remembered this address correctly. 3000 East Prairie is where we're going to be this Saturday, starting at 9:30. 3000 East Prairie. That's near Herbert Hoover. So if you're familiar with like Herbert Hoover, all my North Side folks, Bing Lou, you know, that's right behind. It's over in that area. You'll hear the music. You know, just like the Wizard of Oz, follow the yellow brick road, follow the music.
Follow
you know.
the music.
Yeah, so this
follow
Saturday.
The bass for real.
Follow the bass, man. So this Saturday, I'm excited about that. You know, it's a community day event. A lot of great resources are going to be happening. It kicks off at like 9:30, so just definitely come through. And shouts to my girl, Nicole Van Hook, and her organization, you know, for putting me on and you know, giving me this opportunity.
Shout out to her, man. So you say you got to open up for TK Kirkland in Atlanta.
Yeah,
How
I
was
did.
that experience for you?
It was beautiful, man. TK, he showed a lot of love, and how that actually happened is my brother.
Let's get into that.
My brother, he lives in Atlanta, so I, you know, the start of my career, I would go up there and I would visit. I would make sure I would reach out to him, you know. So he was like, hey, I got these comedy tickets, you know, at this comedy club. Do you want to go? I was like, hell yeah, I want to go. I'm doing comedy. Yeah, let's go. So he treated me to that comedy show that night, and when the show was over, TK was out in the hallway taking pictures with everybody. So I leaned over, I told my brother, I said, man, I'm getting ready to go talk to this guy. I'm going to go talk to this guy. So I went, I introduced myself. I was like, hey, you know, I'm so-and-so. I'm here from St. Louis. I do comedy. He was like, oh, you do comedy? I was like, yeah. He was like, you want 5 minutes? Hell yeah, I want 5 minutes. Now, the crazy thing about that story is that I'm in a rental car. Right. Okay, the show was Saturday. He asked me to perform that Sunday. The rental car had to be back Sunday. So I'm like, man, I can't pass up this opportunity. You know, if I got to pay for this in a GoFundMe account, I'm going to pay for this extra day. I'm not going to miss this opportunity.
Right.
So I did, man. I didn't pass up that opportunity. Shouts to TK Kirkland. You know, he gave me my first 5 minutes of fame. I bombed. But it was an experience. I was just starting out, you know. I ain't going to say I necessarily bombed, man, but I didn't do what I wanted to do.
Right.
You know, it was my first year in comedy. I was still learning, you know, but like I say, like most performances, it was an experience. Mm-hmm. You know, it taught me what not to do the next time. So, but yeah, shouts to TK, man. He gave me my first big opening act on stage.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
TK for that.
Yeah.
So who would you Mount Rushmore comedians? If you
Top 5? Top 4?
We could do top 5 though. We could do top 5.
Top 5 living or they connected?
It don't matter, dead or alive.
So I'm definitely gonna go with Bernie. Mm-hmm. J. Anthony Brown, man. You know who I've always liked? AJ Johnson.
AJ Johnson.
Rest in peace to AJ Johnson, man. Friday he played Ezel. Yeah. Rest in peace to AJ Johnson.
He did stand up, like actual stand up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. You gotta look up some of his stuff.
I gotta do some research, y'all.
Yeah. Who else, man? Locally, Javon Bibbs, man. I know you know Javon Bibbs.
Name sounds so familiar.
Javon is he's dope, man. So that's what 4, and I'm gonna say Pryor for the number 5th one. Yeah.
Hey, top 5.
Yeah. So
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So you say most of your ideas come from real life experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there anything like in your life that you want to talk about on stage that you just like nah, I don't want to pull that one? Or
No. I always say nothing. If it's going on in my life, I just construct it to how I want to talk about it. But I don't see anything being off limits, man. I don't see anything being off limits. If it's something going on and I want to talk about it, I'm going to get up there and talk about it.
For sure.
You know, so I would say no.
I respect that for sure. Because I be just asking for myself. I be like, oh, should I tell you that? You know, I'm still learning myself.
Yeah. Comedy is, like I say, Chris, it's constant grind, man. You know, so.
I just like it because to me, it's your truth, you know?
It is.
It's truth. I like it because it's truth seeking. Like, it's truth, my truth telling. And people be like, you know what? It makes my day when people like, I never thought about it like that.
It's the best comedy, in my opinion, man, because in my opinion, you're not the only person that's going through it.
Right.
You know, so it's very relatable in most cases, depending on what it is. I'm sure it's going to be relatable. And if somebody else is going through the same thing, so why not get up there and talk about it? And it's like it's therapy. You know,
it really is, man.
It's therapy, man. So yeah, I always say I got a long way to go in my career, man. But I'm proud of what I've accomplished thus far.
So what's the I guess I was gonna say ultimate goal, but like, what would you be content with, like reaching, or like or what you envision? Like, do you want to get a special on Netflix, or do you just want to just keep going up, like no limits to it?
I'm gonna say it definitely is a limit, especially with everything that's going on in the Diddy world, you know.
See, I wanted to talk about. See, I was gonna tap in a little bit into the worldly stuff, but like, just answer the question. I
always, you know, and I always had this conversation with my fiance, man. If I can get to that point where I'm making a good $400,000-500,000 a year, I'm good with that.
See,
you know,
I respect it.
Give me a few movies that can be low budget. I do some Tubi stuff, you know. That's all I do right now is watch Tubi. Me and my girl, that's all we do is watch Tubi and wait for the air fryer to go off.
I'm weak.
That's all we do. You know, we sit down on the couch, eat our little popcorn, waiting for the air fryer to go off. So when this go off, boom, you want some ketchup or something, you know, for these French fries, you know. So that's pretty much my life right now, man. And I'd be content if I can just get to that point. You know, I don't have to necessarily make it to Hollywood. I would like to do like some movie stuff, but you know, I'm careful with who I would want to work with.
Absolutely.
You know, but yeah, I believe in God. Okay, I definitely believe in God, and I'm putting this journey into His hands, but I'm going hard in the process. So, yeah.
So did you grow up in church? Or?
I grew up Muslim. Yeah, I grew up Muslim, man. So I got an Islamic background. You know, shouts to my mother. She instilled that in me, and my mother and my stepfather, man. This rain. If I could tell this quick story real quick, I don't know how much time we got left. We good. But shouts to my stepfather also, man. This rain got me thinking about him, man, today, because my stepfather, that guy, he was a character. Right. My stepfather was a character, man, and this rain had me thinking about the time he and my mother, they were going through something. Mm-hmm. Okay, it had to be like the spring of 03, 04, you know, and my mother said, I need you to go to the house, get some mail I'm expecting, and bring it to my job. I can't leave. I said, okay. She said, now your stepfather, he may or may not be at the house because he broke his legs. My stepfather, he was a daredevil, man. So she said he tried to climb up the second-story window to get through the window to get in the house. He had locked himself out. Right. I'm like, okay, if he broke his legs, he in the house. Right. Okay, so I get to the house. It's pouring down, raining. Okay, so I'm like, I know he in the house. Now, you know how black people, we would count something off before we just go out in the rain. We'll just go out in the rain. So before I got out of my car, you know, I did the 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah. You know, that was me getting out of my car to get in the rain. So I did that. I go out in the rain. I heard somebody yelling my name. You know, Akhtab. Now I'm like, I'm from the north side of St. Louis, but I don't know nobody over here like that. Who was that yelling my name? Right. I look down the street. It's pouring down raining. My stepfather, he in a wheelchair, trucking. He trucking. Okay? Now, I don't know if you ever seen somebody trying to scoot a wheelchair in the rain, hands wet. Yeah. But he going. Okay, he going. So he get to me, man, and he was out of breath talking, but he kept talking. He was like, oh, man, I'm so glad to see you. Look, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to carry me up these steps. Now, he got 2 casts on his legs. I'm like, man, I'm a player at this time. I can't carry this man up no steps with these casts on his legs. But I did it. Right. You know, it's my stepdad. I did it. The wheelchair at the bottom of the steps getting wet. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm carrying him up the steps. He all on my back, man. All you heard was what you call them things? Casts hitting the steps. It sounded like a elevator or something. We're going to clink, clank. That's all you heard going up the steps. And I'm like, Lord, I hope don't none of them girls at school see this. You know? This is crazy. But yeah, shouts to my stepfather, man. I just had to tell that little story because the rain made me think about that today.
Hey, nah, that was a good story, man, for sure.
It was crazy. Right?
Comment said, back to when you said how much money you can make, you'll be good. Somebody said, that's what I said. I feel like $400K is good enough for anyone. I don't see how someone can have $100 million and still want more. They want control over people. The people who want that money, who got that money, they just want control over people. Can't nobody tell me different, you know.
Just give me comfortable. I just need to be comfortable, man.
Right, you know. Like,
my family.
Yeah. It's called greed. Absolutely, it's called greed.
Yeah.
No greedy bastards.
Yeah, I just want to be comfortable.
Any other shout-outs? Any other things you want to...
Shouts to my family, man. My mother, my fiance, my kids. I love you all. Who else? Shouts to all the comedians out there doing their thing. You know, my coworker, my bus family. I drive a school bus right now. You know, well, I don't know if we got much time to talk about that, but that's an experience.
Man. How is that with these kids, boy?
Man, look. And I drive in the city, man, so it's different. I didn't got...
Pray for this man.
I didn't got cursed out. You know. Little boy, I was late one day picking a little boy up. He's like, damn, bus driver, where the F you been? Where the F you been?
Right.
Then it's in the wintertime. We get on here, it ain't even no heat on here. I say, you know what? You can drive. Come on. You can drive the bus.
Right.
Because I'm nervous at this point. I don't know what this little boy got in his book bag. You know, so driving a school bus, that's been an experience, man. And, yeah.
So what y'all do after y'all drop the kids off? Because a lot of people want to know that. Like that time where you drop the kids off before you pick them back up to take them home.
Take a nap.
Take a nap?
Yeah. Go play Uno.
Take a nap?
Yeah. Yeah, so.
What?
Yeah. It's your break time. You do what you want.
That's a long-ass break.
It is. It's a beautiful thing, though, man. It's a beautiful thing. So, you know, I haven't been driving a bus very long, but, you know, in my time of doing it, it was an experience.
Last question. What's one thing about the world that you could drastically change if it was up to you?
Peace.
Come on, man.
Everybody get along, man. Everybody get along, man. You know, like I mentioned earlier, I wanna work with everybody. You know, as many people as I possibly can, both locally and nationally. You know, so that's my ultimate goal, man. Just everybody get along, man. Just, you know, I don't know if I sound like Rodney King right there, but
I feel you though, man. It's too much hate.
Yeah. So you know, it's enough money out here for everybody to get, man.
Yeah,
so
since they printing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So just peace. If that was the one thing I had to change in this world, peace.
Oh, man. Well, I'm gonna leave. Well, if you've been watching on the YouTube, I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. This is season 2, and I'm just happy to be back with the Lions Club with my city, my music, and whatnot. But you know, we ended the first show with a fun fact, and I think I'm gonna just make this my shit. So we're gonna end with another fun fact. Fun fact: no number before 1,000 contains the letter A, but there are plenty of E's, I's, O's, U's, and Y's.
That's all, folks.
Thank you. Once again.
I'm so glad there wasn't no question because I was like, man, I ain't got the answer. I don't know.
Oh no, that was a fun fact.
Okay. Good, because I pooed it a little bit. I got nervous, you know.
You thought that was a question?
I did. I was like, Lord.
No.
Lord, I was in special ed for about. I thought lunch was a class, you know. I was like,
Bro, I'm glad. I did a skit when I used to do skits back in high school. I did a skit with my stepbrother, man. Shout out to you, bro. We did a skit about how you fell at lunch. So that's just ironic that you said that.
Yeah.
That was one of our more popular videos, man. That was a time.
Yeah.
The skits. So I want to get back into that, man. I really do.
Let's work, man. Like I said, I do want to improve the quality of them. Because at first I was putting them out like every day, you know, every other day. And I still do them here and there. I do this little segment now called Unc Don't Want To. You know, Unc don't wanna. You know, and that kind of all started because people started calling me Unc or OG because of the gray hair.
Right.
You know, so the Unc part just stuck with me. You know, so I'm like, you know what? Let me try something. You know, so I've been doing that. It's been doing really good. It's not where I want it to be yet, but it's for the most part, it's been getting great feedback.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So Unc don't wanna.
Just let them know where they can find you at. We gonna sign off from here, man.
Comedian is Akhtab, AKHTAB. Last name MUHAMMAD on all platforms. Just go to everything. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Just type in my name and I'll come right up. Follow me and I'll definitely follow you back because I can use the followers. Okay, trying to show my mom I'm doing something with my life.
Hey.
And thanks to you, brother. I appreciate this, man.
Oh
So,
yeah, man. Yeah. I like I said, when I first got out here in the comedy game, I knew I wanted to have a conversation with you, man, and I appreciate you sliding through the Lions Club, man.
Likewise. Shouts to everybody, that tunes in, support this brother and what he's doing, and yeah, it's like that.
Yes, sir. Hey, we gonna be back again next week. Y'all already know. If it ain't a vibe, we ain't going live, and we gonna outro with this video right here that my editor made for me. Shout out to Matthew all the way in the Philippines. Bless his heart. Hold on. I ain't get to pull it up yet. Hold on.